Hey guys, JH. Welcome to Practice G. And it's a very cold and dank type of day. Okay guys, now you may have noticed in the last couple of videos that I've done that I wear a red undergarment or a black undergarment and a reverse colour on the outside. Now guys, I do that for the purpose of being able to show the difference in the arms to the body in terms of plane and where the arm goes, because if you wear the same colour, it's sometimes the arms can blend into the body on camera and you just don't see the difference. Okay, what I want to talk about today is the pressuring down, and for those who are not familiar, that is just this guys. You press down as much as you can with your hands and arms in the backswing, as if you were going to polish a glass top table, as hard as you could, not actually try and break the table. And you want that incorporated, throughout the backswing. We don't want to just pressure down here and then lift. We want to get all the lift out of the backswing. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to eliminate conscious lift. And the purpose of that is, guys, because as I said in the last video, or videos, if you want to swing the golf club on plane, and I mean really on plane, the shaft plane, there's the shaft plane there. Now watch where it goes. It goes there. Nobody swings there. Everybody swings here and then gets above the shaft plane. Now they do that because there's an element of lift in the backswing. And well, more to the point, there's no purpose effort to keep the hands down and the club down in the backswing. And therefore, nobody swings the golf club on plane. No professional golfer has ever swung the club on the true plane of the shaft that's set at address. Everybody moves off that. And a lot of the video that you see from down the line is very misleading, because they'll draw a plane line here and they'll say, oh no, the club stays on the plane. Well, the club doesn't stay on the plane, guys, because if that's the plane there, that's where the club's got to be in the backswing. Now you can't swing there, but you can swing to a degree there. And I believe the only player in the history of world golf ever that got close to swinging the golf club on plane was Doug Sanders, the guy from the 60s. Won 20 tournaments on the US tour, came second in 4 majors, lost that British Open to Jack Nicklaus when he missed that 3-foot putt on the last hole, and he had to par the last hole to win, then lost in the playoff. Now this is what Sanders did. Sanders looked like this at the top of the backswing. That's what he looked like. And if you could dig up some old video on YouTube of Doug Sanders and have a look at his backswing, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. He had his lead arm this far below his trail shoulder. Unbelievable. Now I've never done that, but I'm going to try and do it today. Now you might say, JH, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you swing conventionally? Guys, I believe, and the reason I want to do this is because I believe the secret to consistent, accurate ball striking is plane. And if you can get as close to the true plane of the golf swing, whatever that is at address for you, and swing on that, you're going to be more accurate. No question. Doug Sanders was incredibly accurate and a wonderful ball striker. Trevino said he was one of the greatest ball strikers of all, and so did Hogan, and so did Mo Norman. Mo Norman told me that Doug Sanders used to wear the centre of his golf clubs out, and he was just a fantastic driver of the golf ball, very accurate. Would have been interesting to see his driving statistics had they kept them in those days. Because I think he would have been in front of everybody, with the exception of maybe someone like Calvin Pete. Okay, so what do we have to do, guys? Well, we have to do this. In order to get there, to get on that plane, we've got to try and keep the hands down with as much pressure as we can in the backswing. Now, I'm not going to swing to here. I would like to, because I know that's on plane. Now, for the uninitiated, most people will say, well, JH, that's so flat, it's unbelievable. Well, flat's only terminology, guys. And it's starting to rain, can you believe that? Flat is only terminology. Upright, and what they say is flat. Guys, I don't say it's flat, I say it's on plane, as much as you can get on plane. Now, what I found in trying to do that is that if you do it with the channel lock geometry, and that is golf ball off the trail foot, shoulders shut down at address and at impact, then it's much easier to do it, guys, because you're already basically here. It's much easier to do it from this position. Harder to do it from there, but once you're actually in the pre-cocked position, it's easy to do it. Now, I'm going to do that today. Now, I've been thinking about that. I haven't tried it yet, but I've been thinking about now the way to make this a perfect combination is to use the channel lock trail foot ball position and the pressuring down on plane process. Now, in conjunction with all of that, guys, what I'm trying to do is what Sanders did. And I never noticed it until I started looking recently. But Sanders made no conscious effort to cock his wrists in the backswing. He basically tried to swing like that. And if you have a look at him, he looks like he had the shortest swing in the history of golf. But he could keep up with guys. He couldn't have won all those tournaments if he was super short. Now, he took it in here, on plane, as much as he could, but he didn't try and do that. Because, guys, what that does, as soon as you do that, as soon as you start to cock it, it's pulling the arms in here and you're killing your radius that you have in the backswing. You're just killing the amount of potential radius. But if you do that, if you don't cock your wrists at all and keep pressuring, look how far away that club head is. And even for me, I'll probably get to here in the backswing. I'll never get the club head going this way because that loses its height and that loses its effective radius potential. So there's a lot of things going on here today. The other thing is, what I'm going to try and do, because I've never been a flexibility trainer in the gym in all the years. I've only been a power exponent. So I've actually been doing some rotational exercises at the gym, and I think I've actually gained some flexibility. I mean, I can actually turn my shoulders to here. But I've never wanted to do that because I always wanted to err on the side of accuracy. I've always done that. That's always been my game, to hit fairways and greens. So anyway, guys, haven't had a swing. And what I do is I do most of my practice at home when I'm just sitting around and maybe just looking at the computer or just sitting around, and I think about things I want to do, and I actually do a lot. Johnny Miller said that his best practice sessions were done on the lounge at home, just sitting on the sofa, just thinking about his golf swing and seeing it. So guys, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be the first shot with all these intentions. So we're going to pressure down, we're going to have no wrist cock, and we're going to try and swing the golf club. We're going to try and swing the golf club on that theoretical pure plane. I won't get there, but I'll get it pretty low compared to a conventional swing. Now, and of course, we've got the back foot ball position. Now, I'm not going to complicate things too much, and I'm not going to talk about spiral down, spiral up, even though I'll have a little bit of that in the swing, but I'll try perfecting that going forward in the next couple of weeks. I want to do the base foundations of the totality of of the new process that I want to employ. And so I have to start with a couple of components first, and the first ones will be pressure down, no wrist cock, and just a little bit more rotation. Oh, just something in mind. So we'll just hit a couple, and for the guys who like channel lock, and I think channel lock's a fantastic swing, because it always starts the ball in the same direction, guys. It has to. If you have closed shoulders and impact in the back foot ball position, you can't hit it over here. Closed shoulders will always dictate, and the back foot ball position will always dictate that the club is travelling in or out when you hit it. So we'll always start a little for right hand, a little right of the target line, and if you've got enough closure on the club head, the club face, the ball will come back. If you don't have it, it'll just push a little bit. Okay, so let's try this. Trail foot, pressure down. Oh, and the other thing, guys, I'm just trying to do a lot of things. To get a good pivot in the backswing, I've never really moved my lead hip at all. I've always been reasonably strong, and I could basically stand like that and turn my shoulders against it. But that kills the amount of rotation you get. You know what, if I don't move my hips and I take, okay, that's as much rotation as I can get. But if I get that lead hip releasing, here, I can get that much rotation. Now, to get that lead hip to release, you actually you employ a reverse process, a reverse function, and that is you pull your trail hip backwards. Here, pull the trail hip back, and that'll just let that lead hip come across. I have virtually zero lead knee inflection into the ball in the backswing. I used to when I was younger, but I don't now. I've just got older and stiffer and crotchety, more crotchety. Anyway, guys, the sun's come out. Wow, how about that? So, okay, so let's just try it. Back foot ball position. Here. Pressure down. There, guys, first shot of the day. 5-iron. And there's two trees out here that are about 20 feet apart, and that's my target line. And that was right in the middle of the golf club, and they went straight up between those two trees. And it's very windy, crosshead, right to left wind. But see, I think about it, I've already got it in my brain, so I know my body will respond to the neural programming. Okay, there wasn't much backswing there because I'm a bit stiff. So here we go, guys. Push down. You can't see the ball, guys, but they're just like each ball is a blueprint of, well, those two balls are a blueprint of each other. Just a Xerox copy. Fantastic. Now, Doug Sanders had a great line where he said, we want a short backswing, but a long follow through. And he had plenty of clubhead speed and lots of lag. I don't have the lag he's got because I don't try for lag. But I don't try for anything in this new process. If I push everything with no, I feel, guys, like I'm swinging like that. That's what it feels like. But Sanders had huge extension after the ball, and if you look at him, he's here. I'd love to get that. So, guys, that's very encouraging. Those two shots were just perfect. Push back. It'll take you a while to get it, because we're so used to being active with our hands, and when you're not active with your hands, it just makes you feel out of phase. But the main thing is, once you get it back here, guys, don't try and incorporate any wrist cock. The wrist cock will happen on the down. It'll be down cock rather than up cock. So you get this whiplash type effect. I mean, that's just a great shot. And that's centre cut on the on the blade, guys. That's, as we say in Australia, that's I-diddle diddle, right in the middle. And that's what, third shot. Push it here, see? Trying to do that. Watch it. Guys, you really do get a strange feeling. Even though I'm playing that back foot and I'm closed and I want to hit into out, I feel like I'm going here, which is really tight. That's really tight, so you would think you have no room to drop the club back, but I'm getting drop back. So I'm clearly not getting here because I wouldn't have any room to drop it back, but I'm probably getting here. But the general message, and I just want to re-emphasize the general message is that we don't want any wrist cock at all in the backswing. We want lots of pressure down in the backswing. And we can try it off the back. Look, you can try it off the normal position. This is normal position. Here. This is for people who play the normal swing. The only difference in the ball flight with that different ball position is it's higher. With the back foot position, it's more penetrating. Okay, just normal position. It might look like a short, choppy swing, but for older players and players that may have come back to the game and don't have a lot of flexibility, or you've just grown a bit older and you've lost a little bit of body flexibility or whatever, and a little bit of power. See guys, for anybody, you can have a long backswing, but if it's not a sort of solidified backswing, it can just be floppy, and you're not applying maximum proficiency into the golf ball. Whereas if you have a short backswing like that and you get it to here, you've got a lot of load on it, a lot of torque and a lot of load, so it basically wants to respond. I mean, it's like that type of thing. Here, I feel like it's very much whip cracking. I get here and then the whip wants to crack. Now I don't get that because I don't try for that. I never want to drive my trail elbow in pitch elbow. I've never wanted to do that. I want to get the golf club moving very early from the top of the swing. I feel like I do that, which is what Mike Austin and Mike Dunaway did. I feel that. And so did Count Yogi. Count Yogi felt like he did that. And I've always done that. Now the other thing about pressuring down, guys, if you're going to pressure down on the backswing, make sure you keep that pressure on the downswing. Don't just go pressure down, lose the pressure. Keep pressure. Just get a club and just do a short shot. So pressure. Just keep the pressure on. That's how you learn it. Just a little shot with pressure down. Pressure. That feels like this. And again, Mr. X was going to mow the grass here for me, but the weather's been awful, so it might have been raining. Don't know where I am with the camera again, because I can't see the monitor, guys, from here. Okay, so we'll put all this together. We'll just go forward ball position again. Lots of pressure. Where is the pressure? The pressure's in my wrists, the butt pad of my heel pad of my hand, and the fingers. They're pushing down. That's where the pressure is. And on the downswing, I want to keep pushing. All right, we'll go forward ball position. Now that's interesting. There was a lot of clamp on that. I'm normally a sweeper, but because I'm getting that little bit of down cock, and I've got a fair bit of radius lock into the ball, the club is wanting to go down into the ground after the shot. Now I don't normally take different. I'm a sweeper, but that was more clamp than I normally get. Now I don't want to clamp the ball, but you might want to clamp the ball. That, to me, when you clamp it, you spin it up too much. I like to be able to control my spin. Yeah. Can't hit it better than that. I cannot hit the ball with more purity than that. Okay, might look like a little short swing. And guys, probably, realistically, you're not going to be a Bryson DeChambeau with this type of swing. Most of the long hitters have big long arcs because they're going to generate a lot of speed. But out of a short arc, you can still gain pressure and power because you have higher efficiencies. There's no dissipation in a short swing. All right? Yeah. Guys, it's just, I think it's fantastic. Now what's interesting is that forward ball position for me is nowhere near as comfortable as the back ball position, because I can't get my shoulders closed enough and get preset as I can with the back ball position. With the back ball position, I'm already cocked here, and it's just easier to push the club there. Now again, just to reiterate, guys, where does the club go in the backswing? Feels like it goes there. That's where it goes. Feels like it goes there. That's the feeling. If any conventional world-class teacher today would call that, the exercise for getting stuck. So you're too far and you've got nowhere to go in the downswing. Well, I've got somewhere to go in the downswing, the same direction I went in the backswing, because I'm connected. I'm not flapping around. I don't want to have this looseness here and then drop it back in here. I want to be on plane. You just think about that. I'll hit a couple off that trail foot, because that feels so much. And for Steve Walters, who's a channel lock advocate, Steve, this is the pressure down and the no wrist cock with channel lock. The hit is so clean. That's how I like to hit the ball. I just like to hit club ball, no ground. I don't want ground before, of course, but I don't want ground after it. You know why, guys? Because that's too steep. I don't want to be that steep with my irons. I don't want to be a clamper. You might want to be. But this will shallow out your golf swing. The attack plane will be shallow. Come on, Joe. What does it feel like? It feels like that. That's what it feels like. Okay, I'll just try and elongate that swing. By that I mean I'll just try and make it a bit longer. Now if I can incorporate the Doug Sanders short backswing, long through swing, which I'll try and do, for me I'd have to consciously try and do that. See what it looks like. Now guys, I'm hitting a few shots off the back. A few guys that don't hit it off the back, it's the same thought process but just from a forward ball position. These ones off the back don't move at all. They go in exactly the same direction. It does feel like this, guys. It feels like that. It's amazing. Well, it's not amazing. It's just a fact of life. As you get older, you just, not everybody, but I found that that my retention of thought processes can just dissipate like that. Now, what I wanted to do there, which I forgot, in the golf swing, I got distracted or diverted, and I wanted to have the long arms through that, didn't I? Didn't even think about that. This is why practice is so important, guys, and the discipline of practice. So I'm going to have the short backswing and the long arms through. Ooh. Wow. Now, I've never deliberately tried to do that, but that's amazing. And what happens, guys, if you think about you want your arms to elongate, the body will function as a requirement for that. Now, in order to get that, I've got to get my hips going and get them going this way so the arms have got room to move. Just hit some this way, guys. There's somebody going out, one of the pros here, practicing with brand new golf balls. He's just going to pick them up, his own Titleist ball, so I'll just hit it this way. I don't want to hit him on the head. Here it is, guys. So I'll try and get the long arms through the ball. Which, wow, that's amazing how far that went. And what's good when I hit on this angle, guys, is that we've got a fence up here, and they're about 10 yards apart, the posts, and they're just square onto me. So I've got, you know, a 10-yard landing area or a 20-yard landing area if I was hitting some woods. So it's actually good. So I'll hit a couple more. So this will just give you a slightly different view. But you'll be able to see where the club goes, I guess, guys. Short backswing, long follow through. Now all I got to do in that is incorporate more hip turn release. See, guys, I've still got this angle here when I finish. I've got no wrap over throw. There's no wrap over throw. I don't want that, because I have a wrap over throw. I could do it early. I don't want that. So if I think about doing that through the shot and finishing here with the Hogan trail wrist position, the blade is not going to tip over, and you're not going to rip it left for a right-hander. Okay. And my buddy's gone. There you go. I can't believe how far they've hit those shots. He is a very long hitter, but they've gone miles, where he's out there picking them up. Guys, the swing's compact. It's very compact, but it doesn't lack power. I say I'm not Bryson DeChambeau, but I'm still getting really good distance and good penetration. Anyway.